Hi, everyone. Hi. Hey, hello. It's Michelle. Hi. I heard something interesting that has been top of mind the last few hours that I wanted to come share with you about this new moon eclipse energy, about the way that different cultures integrate the moon and the ebbs and the flows in with the times. I'm going to make sure I can see your comments. Um, And what was really interesting was I was listening to this description, which I'll post a link in the YouTube if you want to listen to it. Uh, but there was something that was such a beautiful takeaway in listening to clients all day long and having these connections and these conversations. Hi, Allison. And how we can be experiencing the moon energy, whether we believe in the moon or not, or we follow the cycles of the moon or not. And I love this conversation because I've always been interested in the moon, but I don't know all the things about moon cycles. But I have noticed that as I learn and open to this information and what I know through numerology and the connection with the planets, how I tend to follow these energetic vibrations with the moon, whether I know of them or not. And so it's fun to recognize what gets amplified in this energy and what we have the opportunity to switch, to shift, to work in our favor. And that was the thing that I wanted to share, just on this mastery piece of how we're experiencing today. Now, I know in my experience and with my daughter in environments, in different conversation and different groups, there has been a lot of chaos kind of energy coming in with the mind, with how we're thinking about things, what's happening in the world, how the collective is experiencing things. We've got an election happening here in the United States. There's all this energy, this high energy. And what was being explained in this video was, sometimes in a moon such as this that has the eclipse energy, and the big full moon, it can amplify your feeling states. And so I've spent all day working with clients and recognizing in myself where some of that energy isn't serving me. So if you find yourself today worried, anxious, frustrated, angry, you may feel an absolute amplification of those feelings. And yet, equally, we have available to us a different emotion that we get to choose. And here's the cool thing: the intentionality behind today, when we choose to release something, when we choose to transform, when we choose to take another decision, another road, another path, we also get to amplify that intention. And today's energy, tonight, especially going into this evening, whatever we had been feeling, whenever you're catching this, you have the opportunity to shift into something more discerning, more empowering, more enlightening, and have that amplify through the energy of the cycle the next few days. And so when I think of this, we have this beautiful Queen of Clubs energy in the contract of the daily numerological contract energy today. And the Queen is here to nurture, to help amplify, to bring to the top of mind where we can love our mind more, where we can shift the story, where we can shift the feeling state that follows, no matter however our thought process has been in that moment. And so I feel like that energetic, same thing, that energetic vibration, whether we're aware of it or not, allows us to take another road, take another choice, be in a higher perception. And so that's the invitation today. Wherever you find yourself, there is always more love. There is always a higher perception. There is always more inner guidance. There is always more faith. There is always more gratitude. There is always more acceptance. There is always more appreciation. And if we can move our emotional state by being willing to feel where we are, be it anxiety, frustration, anger, and face it, we can get so much clearer at what it is we're actually feeling, and perhaps even what it is we really want, and where we might be sabotaging our efforts or compromising ourselves to please others, to do what we should do, what we told ourselves we should or shouldn't have been. And the shoulds are such a, they're like a trigger, a voice trigger, a word trigger for this is shame and guilt. And when I first learned this, it was a little eye-opening because there's a lot of shoulds and shouldn'ts going on in my life. But yet I kept myself perpetuating in this perfection, in this expectation, in these conditions that were exhausting. And as I began to diffuse those should and shouldn'ts, I realized the shoulds, need tos, and have tos are self-perceived guilt, self-perceived shame, self-perceived punishment sometimes. And they're very subtle and underlying in our subconscious mind from old patterns that we picked up, often in childhood or through other events in life, that when we get in these feeling states, they remind us of a different way. And so it invites us to realize that you're not your past story, that you can break free from any pattern and write a new one, that you're the leader of your life. And in these moments where you might be feeling triggered or powerless, there is always an equal, higher vibrating emotion available. If you cannot get from anger to love, you can get to anger to hope. You can get from hope to maybe a little excitement that there can be a change. And so it's such an important aspect to realize that for every emotion we're feeling, there's an equal emotion on the other side. And so much work that I do with my clients is teaching them how to face, feel, and free their emotions, free them by feeling them and welcoming them in. In those moments, we'd rather run, distract, numb, dumb, eat, drink, whatever them away, and just be with what is in that moment to recognize, am I done feeling this way right now? Is this serving me any longer? And what else might I want to feel? And that moment we choose to dare to feel something different can get amplified into a portal of peace and ease to an expansive experience. And so the invitation today is, doesn't matter where you started your day, doesn't matter what went down, doesn't matter whatever is happening right now, there's always a higher perspective, a 360-degree view that we might only be seeing this much of right now. And so tonight, today, be willing to switch that energy. Be willing to amplify more of what you want to feel and watch that ripple effect ripple out into your environment. You want deeper connection in your relationships? Be that deeper connection. You want to have more happiness and joy? Be the happiness and joy. Find what brings you happiness and joy. If it's dancing, dance around on the radio to your favorite song. You can't be mad and be joyful at the same time, right? Like in the body, it shifts differently. Let me see what your comments say. Oh, hello, Allison. The moon energy, there are times it can be like, whoa, but other times it can be amazing. And then amplifying the emotions as we choose and shift, right? And so a couple days before the moon cycle, doesn't matter which one, I can feel the restlessness. I can feel it when I sleep, but it's not at the whim of it. I'm not the whim of that. I just recognize that it's there and I bring myself back into this present moment, right? And I think that's the key for all of it, whether we're just now recognizing that these are the feeling states we're in, that we want to decide to shift whatever we're feeling today to move it into something else. If we just be with it and bring ourselves back into the body, bring ourselves back to our breath, be willing to do something different and not try to escape it. You know, like when you feel like you're screaming and scrambling to get out, you're meant to be in this body. You're meant to be present. Your mind and your body know what to do when we give them space to work together. They literally know how to heal if we stop trying to control the outcome. But when we can stay in alignment, what we call mind-body coherence, mind-heart coherence, that ripple effect has a more powerful, empowering ripple where we can see the evidence coming back so clearly, so quickly. And so many times we are off in the mind and the inner chatter, right? Off in the inner tension. And the body's begging for a decision, an intention that your mind and your heart can get on board with. And that intention can be as simple as, I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing some more ease. I'm choosing excitement. Facebook user, I don't know who you are till I go back and look. I can see Allison, Stephanie. Hi, guys. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Rosalie. You love that you're totally feeling this today, right? And I heard this message, so I want to go make sure I go back and put this YouTube link on. It randomly came on, and hopefully I can find it again. But it was such a beautiful cultural way to explain how for ancient times the moon cycles have been used, how the oceans align with the moon cycles. Why wouldn't we energetically vibrate the same? It doesn't necessarily matter if we perceive it to be true or not. There are all kinds of different perceptions. There are more than just our experience to consider. And just because it may not feel true for us doesn't mean it isn't true for someone else. And I think that was really inspiring yeah. And so same thing with the numbers, same thing with numerology, same thing with modalities, same thing with our spiritual journey. There's more than one way. There's more than one modality. There's more than one experience. But all that matters is the one that lights you up, the one that provides that transformation for you, the one that helps you release what doesn't serve you anymore, that helps you let go of where you've been holding on so tightly, to let you shift an attachment that isn't healthy anymore, and then to receive what else is here for you to experience. What is that higher state of mind? What is the next level beyond the powerlessness? Can I work my way back up that emotional scale to get to the hope and the excitement? And you know what's really interesting about this scale of anger, frustration, irritation, depression, anxiety, all these things on this side? The minute you give awareness to it, it's like you can move up that scale to the side so much faster. And this other side, peace, hope, love, excitement, bliss, all the other ones continue to open to endless possibility. And so we each have an opportunity to shift our thinking from powerless to possibility. And I hope that you'll take advantage and spend some time with yourself reflecting today, coming back to gratitude, staying in that energetic vibration of gratitude and appreciation for what is right now, because you are extraordinary. You've created an extraordinary life. You've survived through so many monumental things. And even though life may be not exactly the way you're hoping for it in this moment, it doesn't mean you haven't already created what is. And from there, you get to choose again and again and again and again. You get to trust your intuition. You get to trust your inner guidance. You get to connect to that faith and know that you're not alone, that other people are experiencing things too. I'm looking at the comments and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling this too. And that when we use our voice to express ourselves, to share a nugget or two with someone else, that we can connect and realize, yeah, you get it. And so I love that I came live to talk about the moon today, because I do feel it. And I do love to amplify this energy. And I do believe in the power of choice. And I do believe that we each have a beautiful story from which to continue to grow and continue to empower and continue to serve. And as we share those stories, we get to connect just that much more. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I love that you guys are online and seeing this. And yeah, I hope for you to continue to experiencing yourself in new ways. You know, not to be that observer, to let yourself land into the unknown just a little bit more. There's so much beyond what the mind knows. And yet the mind is in its own brilliance. But we really were put on this earth to be mind, body, and spirit, not separate from. So have a beautiful rest of your night. Thank you guys so much again, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye for now.